Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing great. This is Priestess Serrana Rose here, and I want to talk about something really quick. We were discussing this in class last Sunday, and we were talking about a gathering that we are doing, and we are doing a rite of passage for a young lady. And this is one of the things that is really missing in our world today. And when we look back at how, like, say, I was raised luckily around my grandmother, who taught me things, how to cook, how to do those things. And I know that's kind of stereotyping, but that's usually what women do. Women take care of the house, women take care of the babies, and things like that. In our world today, when both parents are pushed out into the world and forced to work just to keep a roof over the head, those roles do get turned around, and that's okay. But what I want to get at is the missing part of these rites of becoming young women and young men. There are times in a woman's life where she goes through these changes, especially from when she's a little girl. She begins to have her menses, and now she's a young woman. She's going into a different phase of her life. I am not a man. I cannot explain what men go through in that time because I did not go through it. But I do have sons, and I can tell you, right about in their preteen years, they start getting a little rebellious and, trying to get themselves together, so to speak, and to figure out who they are in this world. But for women, that menses and beginning that is such a very powerful time. And what I feel is really missing from our society is those ceremonies of becoming a woman, ceremonies of becoming a man. How the boys would be put in, taken out into the woods and, taught to hunt, taught to do those things. Women were gatherers. They were taught the herbs. They were taught the healing. And there's different things. I don't want to raise this up as in saying women can only do this and men can only do that. That is not what I'm getting at. I'm getting at these ceremonies that were done by the indigenous peoples that we all come from. Most people want to only think about indigenous people, such as Native Americans or, say, the Aboriginal people from Australia, those type things. Maybe people from the Amazons, those type people. But if we go back further enough in history, there were lots of indigenous people. There were indigenous people of Europe. There were indigenous, and I say Europe, that is a broad word, but there were indigenous peoples there that had their own ceremonies. They had their own rites that they did in order to help the young people grow and to help the young people learn, to prepare them for life and what life was going to offer them. For women, many women will be bringing children into the world. And a lot of women nowadays have no idea. They're not taught certain things. They're taught, well, you're going to get your period and then you're going to, this, that, and the other. You're taught the technical and the medical, but you're not taught how to mentally and spiritually go through these times. And I do feel that that has caused a lot of problems in our world. When we take When we take ceremony out, when we take these important rites out, we begin to lose the valueness and the sacredness of our life cycle. And we begin to stop finding that sacredness. And I say, let's try to find that sacredness again. These rites of passage are so important for our young people. Teaching our young people. Fathers, it's important to teach your sons. And fathers, it's also important to teach your daughters about what to look for in men, especially. And vice versa, women, teach your daughters, teach your sons. In our world, it's so fast paced, and I think that this whole time, no matter how you feel about the lockdown, no matter how you feel about what has went on, it has given us a time to sit back and to think about what is really valuable in our lives. We can replace cars, we can replace houses, but we cannot replace our loved ones. We cannot get back the time that we've missed with our loved ones. And we really need, especially with as crazy as this world is, we need to bring that value back into the home. I hope you have a wonderful day. Blessings.